This is the BS4 podcast, and I'm your host, Bria Villa. Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of the BS4 podcast. I'm your host, Bria Villa, and this episode is for you if you are navigating dating, if you are trying to figure out your love life, if you are single and just in that tough phase where, dating is just hard. You're trying to figure out who you like, who you want to be, how you want to be treated, how to not overthink it, all the things. We're going to get into it. I actually had 2 messages of questions from frequent listeners. So love y'all. Thank you for sending these. And the questions were, how do you know your worth when it comes to dating men? And how do I know when a guy likes me? And how do I not overthink it? And I feel like these are such good questions to ask because honestly, I've asked myself this question at different stages of my life. I am not going to act like I'm some relationship expert because I'm not. I'm literally single. So not married, don't have all the experience of being in a relationship, but I do have a ton of experience in dating and also what it's like to be single and date with intention. I've never really been the person to jump from relationship to relationship. I've hardly even had serious relationships. I only had 2. And when I did, I was so clear, or I ended up walking away from both relationships because I was very clear on who I am, what I want, and my worth. And so I am single with intention right now. I honestly can say I know myself better now than I've ever known myself. And it's funny because these questions came up right at like perfect timing for me because I just finished reading a book that has completely shifted the way that I think, the way that I operate. I'll say that I already naturally practiced some of the teachings in this book and didn't realize it, but this book put language around a lot of the things that I kind of was already doing with additives of more like clarifications or things to apply or just like better ways of looking at things. And it really shined a light on how important self-love is. And that's a journey that I've just always been on. I am like the hardest person on myself. I am my own worst critic. And so self-love feels so hard sometimes because I literally beat myself up so much. I've gotten a lot better, but I used to like, and I've talked about this, but just the perfectionism and always trying to move and operate perfectly. Like can't make mistakes, can't be flawed, when in reality, my flaws make me who I am. And I'm really in a phase of like loving myself exactly as I am. And I feel like I attracted the wrong partners or attracted the wrong people in dating because I was moving out of who I almost was like pretending to be instead of who I actually was. I was moving out of the perfect version of me and not just me authentically. And ever since I really shifted into the mindset of being fully myself, being authentic, being transparent, setting expectations up front, I feel like the energy that I'm even sitting in is like giving off what I'm looking for. And it's funny because less and less men approach me now. I feel like there's just like an energy where people know like, oh, if I'm going to come to her, I have to come correct, which I love. And at first that's daunting because you're like, what am I doing wrong? Like, why am I not being approached? Why are men not interested in me? Like you can go down that whole spiral. It's the belief system that I have about myself that is attracting the people who also believe that about me or who are inclined to believe that about me and pushing away the people who know or believe that about me and know that they can't provide it. I'm going to talk through 3 things to answer these questions. So today, the B is for beloved. Let's talk about what it means to be beloved, not just by someone else, but by yourself first. So that goes into point number 1. How do I know when a guy likes me and not to overthink it? How do I know my worth when it comes to dating men? Honey, first and foremost, worry less about the guy, worry more about you. Self-love, it sounds so cliche, but self-love should always be your top priority. You cannot give what you don't give yourself. If you don't have it, how will you give it? You teach people how to treat you. If you don't take care of yourself, how are you going to expect somebody to take care of you? If you don't honor yourself, honor your word, how are you going to expect somebody to honor and take care of you? What really taught me about self love is the book called The Mastery of Love by Don Miguel Ruiz. I actually have it here. This is the author that wrote The Four Agreements. So if you've ever read The Four Agreements, amazing book. The books are pretty short. It's only like 200 pages maybe. And like they're small. Font is pretty big. Like it's a pretty easy read. This book, honestly, maybe one of the most impactful books I've read ever, if not in a really long time. And y'all know I like to read. But this one, she's that girl. Because when I originally got it, I was looking at it and I thought it was going to be all about relationships. And I wasn't really into reading a book that was just about like how to be loving towards you. I just wanted to read a book that was around the concept, the ideology of love itself, whether that's love for yourself, whether that's love for the things around you, whether that's love for family members, whether that's love romantically, like just the concept of love in the world, period. And that's literally exactly what this book is about. And so, two things that Don Miguel Ruiz says about loving yourself is the relationship with yourself comes first. Most people try to fix their loneliness or their emptiness by finding a partner, but it doesn't work because, again, you can't pour from an empty cup. And so, the most important relationship that you will have ever is a relationship that you have with yourself. It's the foundation for every single healthy relationship that you can have because you are the source. You are the source. If the roots are rotten, the tree won't flourish. You have to nurture, water, pour into yourself, and then you'll be able to reap what you sow, literally. You can't give what you do not have. If you don't love yourself, nobody is going to be able to love you either. And I know you're probably thinking like, okay, but how do I love myself? Love, I think we have to define love. And I also think that we have to recognize that we all have emotional wounds. We have traumas from past relationships, from our childhood, from societal norms, whatever it may be. And if we don't address some of those traumas, they'll just kind of perpetuate in our lives and they'll be like a barrier holding us back from experiencing the love that we actually want to give or receive. So until you fully love and accept yourself, past, present, and future versions of yourself, you're not really going to be in a place to receive the love that you want because you're also not knowing how to give it, to be honest. I have self-love affirmations that I want to show y'all. Hold on. I have 7 because my lucky number is 7. So I will read these to myself every day, every morning, every night. And I actually wrote them myself because I wanted them to be specific to me. But I think it's important that what you believe about yourself becomes actuality. If you don't believe you're deserving of love, you won't have it, nor will you give it to yourself. And that's something that I struggled with for a really long time is that I felt like there were things that I had to do to earn love. When in reality, I deserve love, period, full stop. Past, present, future, every version of me deserves love. And I deserve it for me most. Like, I need to be kinder, or I am being kinder. Not need. I am being kinder to myself. I am being more loving towards myself. I am finding the things that are important about me to me. And that will start to change the game because when you start to honor who you are and truly love yourself, there won't be anybody who can come in your life that you'll accept less treatment from. Period. So I love this book because it taught me so much about love. It also taught me to love from freedom, not fear. Real love is not about control. Some things just are. Things in life, which this is a big concept that I've really had to wrap my mind around, things in life only have meaning if you give meaning to them. The sun shining today versus it raining today, depending on your mood, you can say, oh, it's cloudy and it's raining because I'm so down and this is the end of da 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 da. Like you can give reasons for everything. And yeah, there may be reasons behind it for you to do soul searching with, but like the things that actually come to fruition are the things that you believe. So if you're constantly in fear and thinking love is fear, it will be that. Real love is not about control, it is about freedom. Fear says, I'll love you if you act how I want you to act, right? It's conditional. Love is, I love you as you are. So even with yourself saying, oh, I'll only love myself if I lose 20 pounds. That's fear. Because that's saying, I'm only going to do this if you do this. I'm only going to love you if you do this. Like you're putting conditions on yourself on how much you can love yourself. I'm only going to love myself if I lose 20 pounds. I'm only going to love myself if I never miss church on Sundays. I'm only going to love myself if I never sin. I'm only going to love myself if I accomplish this and that. You are putting conditions on yourself, and those conditions are fear-based, not love-based. And you're disguising it as love. So it's really important to know that love is without conditions, and it's just to be given, period. A good friend told me recently that if you move out of love, you will never lose. You will never lose. Because everything on this earth is meant to be loved. Everything is beautiful. You can find beauty in everything. And the only reason why you're not finding beauty in something is because you're choosing not to. Because you're scared of it. You're scared of how it makes you feel. You're scared. Everything's based out of fear. Love has no fear. Love has no fear. So moving out of love you're always going to win. You're literally always going to win. But you also have to figure out how to do that for yourself. Love is not a transaction. Love isn't, I'll give you this and you give me that. That's trading. That's not loving. Love does not keep score. It just gives freely. If you truly love someone, you're doing it because you want to do it, not because of, if I do this, I'm going to get this outcome. If I cook him dinner for every night for a week, he's finally going to get me roses at the end of the week. No. You're moving out of fear. You're moving out of, if I do this, he won't do that. If I don't do this, he won't do. You need to just do because you feel it in your heart that that's what you want to do, regardless of what the outcome will be. Is that scary? Sure. But if you're so confident in yourself and the love that you have to give, and if it aligns with who you truly are and you know that your motives are purely out of love and purely genuine, who cares what the outcome is? And that's something that I had to understand about myself because I was doing things seeking responses. And that's not knowing your worth, honestly, because you're trying to manipulate or orchestrate an outcome when really you should just be focused on the input. And so for the question of like knowing your worth, the only way you're going to know your worth is if you truly love yourself and be honest with yourself about the hard truths about yourself. You can't heal a lie. By the way, we all lie. This book literally says it. It's like every human lies to themselves. Lies to themselves in small capacities, large capacities. A lot of people out of defense mechanisms, out of fear, like, I don't want to love. I'm too scared to love, whatever the case is. But like, we're actually all designed to do it. And so you have to just be honest with yourself about who you are, what it is you truly want, the type of person that you can be, and love that person in totality, past, present, future. Like, love every aspect about yourself that even brings you shame from your past. Love exactly who you are in this moment right now, and then think of yourself future state and love her too. And that's the only way that you're really going to be able to see your worth, is because you know, I've accepted me for me, and I will not accept anything from anyone else that isn't aligned with how I've accepted myself. It sounds so simple. I know it's so much easier said than done, but it actually is that simple. Like, it is that simple. It's just a practice that you have to do every day. I'm not saying I'm perfect at it, but I do understand it. And I can confidently say that. So take note of that for sure. So that's one. Self-love should always be your top priority. Always should be your top priority. Like, you cannot control other people. You can only control yourself. Focus on you. Focus on you. Give yourself love and give love freely without something you're expecting in return. Yes? And then see what happens. Truly. Second is stop relation shopping. Stop relation shopping. You are going, and Dr. Cheyenne Bryant actually taught me this in a session that I had with her and a few other women, where she says, you need to do experiential dating, not checklist dating. You are literally relation shopping. You are going down the list of what you want from a man. He's tall, check. He's athletic, check. He's fine, check. He makes money, check. He lives in a good house, check. You're trying to relation shop and not just experience how it feels to be with that person. So for example, you go on a date and he's everything on your checklist. He's smart, he's attractive, he's nice, he's established, etc. And you go down this list and you start to relation shop. You're like, oh, he has this, oh, he has that, oh, he has this, oh, he has that. On paper, he's good. But how does he make you feel when you're with him? Like, do you feel in your spirit attracted to him? Do you like your interactions with him? Did he make you feel butterflies? Or are you just liking the idea of who he is on paper? And I've made this mistake. Like, I have literally made this mistake. The last relationship that I was in, I relation shopped. I didn't experience it. I knew from the get-go, but I didn't want to admit that I knew. But I knew from the get-go that everything looked good on paper, but it didn't feel right to me. Like, kind to me, check, 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 check. Everything's getting checked. I'm like, okay, this is good. But I don't feel it. But I'm like, but it must be good because it looks good on paper. I was relation shopping. And look how that turned out. Your girl ain't with him anymore. For good reason. Like, he deserves to be with someone who feels that way towards him. I deserve to be with someone who makes me feel that way and that feels that way towards me. Like, that's just a simple truth. And so stop relation shopping. Like, if you're trying to figure out if a man likes you or not, or if you're trying to figure out if he's the right guy, babe, just experience him. How about that? Like, stop trying to figure it out. Just let it flow. And like, this is one of the hardest things for me to do because I'm a perfectionist. I like to have control. I like to know what someone's intentions are, blah, 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 all the things. I'm like, I need a whole checklist. When the reality is like, I'm so worried about the checklist, I don't even know how this man's treating me for real. Do I even like being around him? Like, do I enjoy my time with him? Am I bored? Like, you have to experience them. Like, pay attention to a man's actions. Pay attention to how he makes you feel, not just how he is on paper. And that goes the other way around. Like, sometimes on paper, everything isn't aligned, but he makes you feel different than you've ever felt. You have to listen to that. You have to listen to that. That experience, and of course there needs to be balance, okay? There needs to be balance in like the things that are non-negotiable for you, etc. But when it comes to dating, focus more on how it feels and what the experience is like in totality than all the things on the checklist. And also stop trying to change people. To me, I was like, oh, I have this whole list, but there's a few more things that I want, but he'll get there. No, he ain't gonna get there, girl. He ain't gonna get there. I don't know how to break it to you, but he's not. Like, people change over time, but they shouldn't change on your time. And real love is not trying to change someone. Real love is accepting them for who they are, period. Flaws and all. You may not love it, but you can accept it. Like, you may not like that they do certain things, but love will teach you. You can accept them for those things if they're not like a non-negotiable. So stop trying to change a man. Stop trying to make him fit into all these buckets. Just experience him. When you are dating, just experience him. That's it. And if the experience starts to dwindle or starts to shift or it starts to feel like it's back and forth, baby, that is a sign. That is your experience. Stop looking at, oh, he's this and that and that and that and that and that. But like every other day, you're wondering if, am I going to hear from him? Am I not going to hear from him? Does he like me? Does he not like me? Da, 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 da. All the things. Girl, does that sound like a fun experience to you? I don't know. Me, personally, no thank you. Not at this stage in my life. But yeah, stop relation shopping. Experience them. See how you feel around them. See how he makes you feel. It's important. So drop the fantasy. We create this perfect image of what someone should be. And when they don't match it, we get disappointed or we try to change them. You can't change them. True love means accepting people exactly as they are, like I said. So the relation shopping, the fantasy, the delulu that you're making up in your mind about who this man is, if he went mute and could not speak, and all you saw were his actions and felt how he made you feel, would you like him? That is what's more important than the whole list. Focus on that, okay? So I said self-love is super important. Stop relation shopping. And the last thing is, if he likes you, he will show you. Stop trying to convince him to like you. Stop trying to be likable. Be yourself. Be yourself, literally. The right man, the right person, there is quite literally nothing that you can do, say, if they are meant to be in your life, if you are meant to love them and they are meant to love you, that will happen. Like, I really believe that what is for you will be for you. Point blank, period. Like, if it is meant to be yours, it will be yours. If you are meant to love and experience this person and have them love and experience you with total freedom, without conditions, that will happen. So stop trying to force it, because it's not going to work. And anything forced isn't love. You're just moving out of fear. There's a metaphor in this book called the magical kitchen metaphor. And I want you to like put this in perspective. So you currently live in a house. And in this house, you have a magical kitchen. And this kitchen produces so much food, an abundance of food. Every time you open your fridge, every time you open your pantry, more food for you. You are without need, like so much food to the point where it's overflowing. You can give it and give it and give it. You can invite people over and they can eat with you. You can pass it out all the time. You come back and there's still food. You are never running out, okay? And someone comes and knocks on your door one day, a person comes and knocks on your door one day and says, hey, I have this pizza, but if I give you this pizza, you have to do whatever I want. You're gonna look at them and be like, honey, do you see this kitchen I got? Do you see the abundance of food that I have? I do not need your pizza. Do whatever you want, please. Scurry along. Thank you, though. Have a nice day. Now, let's act like you're in a home without the magical kitchen. Your cupboards are empty, your fridge is empty, and you are starving. You are absolutely starving. And same person knocks on the door and says, hey, I have this pizza. I'll give you this pizza, but you have to do whatever I want. If you are starving, if you have nothing in your kitchen, you are going to take that. You're going to take the pizza and say, okay, yeah, I'll do whatever you want. And each day, this person comes back and says, hey, I have this pizza. I have more food. I have this. I have that. I know that you're starving. You just have to do whatever I want and I'll give it to you. And you're like, yeah, great. Give it to me. I'm starving. And now all of a sudden you're relying on this. You're relying on this food. And so you're waiting for this to come every day. And then it comes to a point where you don't want to do what they want, but you need it. You've decided that you need it. You've decided that you need that food. You've decided that you're starving and that you need to eat. That's how love works. Love for yourself should be like the magical kitchen. You should have so much love for yourself and so much love to give that if someone comes to you and says, I'm going to give you love under the condition that you do whatever I want, under the condition of anything, you're going to be like, I don't need that. I got it. I'm good. But if you don't have that love for yourself, if you don't find that within you, and someone comes into your life and says, I'm going to give you love, but it's under these conditions, you will take it. You will take it. So it is so important to truly love yourself and love freely and love without fear. Otherwise, you will settle for less. Otherwise, you will settle for conditions, and that's not love. So if he likes you, he will show you. Stop trying to convince people that you're likable. If you're trying to convince people that you're likable, you're trying to convince yourself that you're likable. And you gotta love yourself, babes. Have to. Also, men specifically, if I've learned anything about men, they will show you everything in their actions. Men are not, they can be, but for the most part, it's not like the words. Words are like not really a man thing. And that's not to like generalize all men, but a man will always show you who he is. Sometimes you just choose not to look. But a man, through his actions, will show you who he is. If he shows up, if he's consistent, if he's true to his word, how he treats his family and the people around him. So it's fair to ask yourself, oh, does he like me? Like, that's totally normal. But I think the more important question is, do you like you? Do you love yourself enough? And if you like you, then whether or not he likes you doesn't really matter. Because the person who will like you the same way you like yourself. And you will attract that person. So don't worry so much about being likable. Worry about, do you like him? Do you like him? Like his actions, the way he moves, would you want to be like him? If someone came up to you and they were like, oh my God, you're just like your boyfriend. Would you be proud of that? Or, oh my God, you're just like so-and-so. Would you be proud of that? So worry more about liking yourself. And then does the healed, right, honored version of yourself like them? Focus on that first. So self-love is your top priority. Stop relation shopping. And it isn't your job to convince people to like you. You should like yourself first. Dating is hard. I know it's not easy. I am currently on this journey. I get it. But what I do know for sure is that I will not accept a relationship in my life at this point that isn't aligned to me and my beliefs about myself. If a man comes into my life and shows me that he doesn't love me for me in totality, he's not getting my time. Or if a man comes into my life and doesn't show me that he's truly trying to get to know me, like get to know me flaws and all, wants to get to know me, wants to understand me, then it's just not for me. And I firmly believe, like zero doubt in my mind, that there is a man that will come into my life who will love me in totality. I believe that because I know that I can give that, because I'm at that point in my life where I'm loving myself in totality, and I know that I can give love in totality unconditionally if the right person comes along. So I understand dating is hard. It is not easy, but date yourself instead. Do that first, and then the rest will come. I know that this journey is hard. I'm sending you all my love. I know that it is not easy, but if you really need something to give you guidance, this book is so good. I'm going to link it in my bio below. That way you can get yourself a copy and focus on affirmations and doing something every day that honors you and helps you get to know yourself better. So, love is given freely. Love should be given to yourself, and then love will come to you for sure. So, okay, my beloveds, because that's what the B is for. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that this was insightful to you. I'm sending you all my love because I have an abundance of it, and I am just here to give it to the girls, to my people. But I'm on this journey with you, but I do feel good about where I'm at right now. So that being said, I hope you'll have a great week. Make sure that you tune in next week. Gonna have a good episode. Until then, like, comment, subscribe, share with a friend, all the things. Let me know your favorite part about this episode, and tell me one thing that you love about yourself in the comments below. Put it in affirmation style, whatever it may be. That is your one little exercise for yourself to practice self-love, is to put into the comments what you love about yourself. All right, until next week, I hope you'll have a beautiful day. You are loved. I love you. And that's all. See you next week.